So it started out as the Ottawa Senators looking like they were going to change their frustrating ways that they've been on these first few games of the season. Turned into them reverting right back to the frustrating ways that they've been on these first few games of the season. And it really was encouraging to see the Ottawa Senators outshoot the Vancouver Canucks 23-7 in the first period. And yeah, the Sens did have 3 power plays, and that helped them generate a lot of those shots. But still, I thought they were the far better team, even 5-on-5. They had the puck in the Canucks zone the whole first period. It felt like they were making plays, they were skating, they were showing glimpses of what they can do. And it's kind of a fine line between realizing, is a team taking them for granted, or are the Sens just not playing up to their potential? And at times I think it's a little bit of both. Maybe Vancouver did take them for granted, but with that being said, I don't think Vancouver is necessarily a team who's storming the gates to the Stanley Cup either at this point in time. And I think the Ottawa Senators did let their foot off the gas for sure after that first period, and it's just anytime they do that, they're not good enough of a team to let their foot off the gas at all at any point in the game. But I would have a bit of a here we go again moment as Tyler Mott would strike 2:09 into the first period, assisted by Tyler Myers and Jay Beagle. The Sens kind of have a knack for being led up by Vancouver's fourth line or third line guys these past couple of games or so. Mott strikes. It's kind of, and again, one Hogberg I thought should have had, but Coburn kind of does a flyby in front of the net. I believe it was Coburn. I could be wrong, but one of the Sens defensemen does a flyby in front of the net. They need to stop on the net, like stop in front of your net and get that puck out of there if there are any rebounds. It can't be flying by and leaving opposing players wide open to tap in super easy goals. So far, the Sens have just made it way too easy for their opponents most of the season. And after that, fortunately, the Sens would show some fight, and they would not wilt as they would get a power play, and Josh Norris would strike on that power play for his second of the season, assisted by Brady Tkachuk and Drake Batherson. That came 8:16 into the first, so we're all tied up at 1. And after that first goal, the Sens, even before that first goal, they start to gain momentum, but after that especially, they were all over the Canucks, and Vancouver really had no answer for the Sens at that point. And we'd head to the first period all tied up at 1. Like I said, Ottawa out shooting Vancouver 23-7. Things are looking good. Maybe the Sens can actually do something impressive in this game finally and just make the game more competitive at least. But the Canucks would have different plans as 1:16 into the second period, JT Miller would strike on a nice passing play from Quinn Hughes and Elias Pettersson. Look, it kind of looked like Mike Riley got hooked on that play. I thought there should have been a call. Maybe Riley did embellish it a little bit. That's why the refs didn't call it. You probably shouldn't embellish at that point if you're Mike Riley, just because that is a precarious spot in the ice to get caught stumbling around in. And he leaves the 3 Vancouver players wide open. It's like a 2-on-1. It eventually turns into, or a 3-on-2. And it goes down low to Miller, and he strikes. And again, the Sens, as good of a passing play as that was for the Vancouver Canucks, the Sens did set that one up pretty nicely for them, and they make it look pretty easy for the other team a lot of times, like I've said before. And JT Miller wasn't done there. At 7:29 into the second, he would strike again for his second of the game. It was a play where he had the puck, and this is kind of where I have my problems with being overly physical, as Austin Watson has a clear chance to knock the puck off his stick. Instead, he hits Miller. Miller takes a hit to make a play. Miller doesn't fall over completely on that play. He stays up. Watson bumps him, but still he takes a hit to make a play. The Canucks are swarming around. Jordy Ben gets a shot off. JT Miller is right there in front of the net, the same guy who started the play. He's there in front of the net. He finishes it off. It's 3-1 Vancouver. Now, we don't know what would have happened had Austin Watson just whacked at his stick, or whacked at the puck with his own stick to get the puck out, but I highly believe had he done it that way rather than go for the body, that puck probably is out of the zone, and it's probably not 3-1 at that point. And the Sens got into a little penalty trouble. They would kill another one off. But you keep playing with fire, you're going to get burned. That Vancouver power play, while it was 1 for 3 tonight, it looked pretty good though on all 3 attempts, I would say. Elias Pettersson would finally break through on the power play at 17:16 into the second period. He would score, assisted by Miller and Hughes. The Canucks were kind of, their big boys really came to play, especially in that second period. Pettersson kind of waits the Sens defenseman out, and he snipes it bar down on Hogberg. Really nothing Hoiberg could have done on that goal. And all of a sudden, what looked like somewhat of a good game by the Sens early on, especially a good game for them early on, now all of a sudden looks like it's going to be another blowout at 4-1 heading into the second intermission. And despite the Sens being down 4-1 heading into the third period, I like that they showed some heart and played well in the offensive zone and showed a little bit of jam in that third period by having the puck and still skating. I didn't watch the game the other night because it was a late game at 10 o'clock, but from what I've heard anyways, in the third period, the Sens just kind of still, they wilted somewhat, and they gave up 3 more goals, and that game got super ugly at 7-1. Well, Vancouver did score another goal by Tyler Mott, 11:46 into the third, assisted by Jay Beagle, to make it 5-1 and make this game, look a little bit ugly. At least it wasn't as bad as the one the other night, but, I mean, woohoo, moral victory, I guess, I don't know. But at the end of the day, I mean, at least the Sens played harder in that third period probably, so they didn't let this game get too out of control. And even when they're down 4-1 or something after a second period, they have to keep playing, because this isn't a team, like I've said before, who can take their foot off the gas and expect for things to just stay status quo. Whenever Ottawa stops playing hard, things tend to get really ugly in a hurry for them. So fortunately, they did keep their foot on the gas in that third period, but again, too little, too late. They lose 5-1. It's another stinker. I mean, what's so frustrating too is that this was looking like it could be a really good game for them, 23-7. Now, I didn't expect them to keep out shooting Vancouver by that margin throughout the whole game. Of course, I knew the Canucks are a good enough team that they're going to grab their bearings and they're going to get playing. Then they get outshot 20-7 in the second. They have to eliminate that, where they have a really, really good period, and then they have a really, really bad period they follow it up with. Then in the third, they outshoot Vancouver 13-8, but I mean, I'm going to attribute that to Vancouver being up by 3 goals heading into that third, and then 4 eventually, just over the midway point in the third. And the final shots are 43-35 for Ottawa. They only get 20 shots after the first period. They had 23 in the first, and while only holding Vancouver to 7 shots in the first period, they end up giving up 35. So, I mean, they were outshot 28-20 in the final 2 periods, which isn't horrible, but they gave Vancouver some pretty high-end chances, and that's got to stop for sure. And I want to mention that Christian Wolanin looks like he maybe got injured, as he only played 7:23 in the game, and the commentator said he wasn't on the bench, I think, at some point in the second period, so the Sens were down to 5 defensemen. And I'm not making any excuses here, don't get me wrong, I'm just telling you what happened as far as them being down to 5 D-men. But yeah, so I mean, I guess Josh Brown comes back into the lineup. Maybe Artyom Zub, the Russian guy they signed, the Russian free agent from the KHL, maybe he gets in his first NHL game, who knows. We'll see. Braden Coburn didn't look very good out there, so maybe you bring Josh Brown back in, and maybe you put Zub in the lineup as well. But I don't know, the Sens got to do something here. One thing I do want to mention is that Colin White, I thought, who was back in the lineup yesterday, I thought he had a really good game. He was very noticeable. He was held pointless, but at least he was very noticeable, a lot more noticeable than he was in the first 2 games that he played. And with the game he played yesterday, there's no doubt in my mind that he should get another game here tonight against the Canucks again for sure. And the Sens are back in action tonight, 10 p.m. I don't know if I'll be watching this game. Maybe I'll do a preview for it, but I don't know that I'll be doing a review for it really. Maybe unless the Sens, I don't know, win 1-0 or something and they keep the goals against the 2 or fewer, then I might be forced to do a review even if I didn't watch the game, just because I'll be so miraculous. But yeah, they're going to be playing tonight. They got to avoid getting swept, 3-game sweep again for the second straight week in a row. Winnipeg did it to them last week. They don't want to have Vancouver do it to them this week. They can't be a team that's easy to take points from. DJ Smith said so himself. We don't want the Ottawa Senators to be an easy team to take points from. So far, they have been just that. They've been super easy to take points from. And if a team's going to take points from you, make them earn it at least. Like, lose the game, I don't know, 2-1, and you play a really good, hard-fought, defensively sound game. And yeah, they're having trouble scoring right now, so they're going to have to learn to keep the puck out of their net. And most importantly, start making these teams in this division respect you if you're the Ottawa Senators, because right now they're certainly not earning any respect with getting blown out every night. Everyone's just looking at them. If there's a team who's struggling in this division, and if they got like 2-3 meetings coming up with Ottawa, like Vancouver has here, like when they were struggling and they were looking back or looking forward to the schedule, they were probably seeing Ottawa 3 games this week, and they're like, oh yes, a chance to turn our season around. The Sens can't be that type of team that teams look at and say, yes, we get to play Ottawa. Right now, they're really looking that way. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about the game, about the Sens' rotten start to the season. And you know, it's one thing if they were on a 6-game losing streak, if they were losing every game, I don't know, 3-2, 3-1, 2-1, something like that, losing some of those in overtime even. That's one thing. At least they'd be more competitive and showing more fight, not continuing to make these same defensive boneheaded mistakes that they're making now and making it super easy on the opponent. That would be a different story if they were playing a lot more competitive. But like I said, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Please like and subscribe and share this video. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you soon, hopefully, because I don't know, like I said, if I'm going to be watching the game tonight, just because it is a late one, so I don't know if I'll be doing a review or not, but I'm sure I'll find a way to talk about it. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Like I said, I hope you all have a great day.